Barrister Mbeseha. This is just half of what we're seeing over the weekend. I'm sure you all saw more.
Yes, I certainly saw more. What we are seeing there is some type of masquerades fighting left and right. But we must remember that Cameroonians, not Amazonians, they are just normal human beings. There's a level of fraud that the people will no longer contain. There's a time that the people will stand up for their rights. And it looks like this was one of the moments they try to stand up for what it is supposed to be. Yes, that thing happened in Bafut, you have mentioned it. Before that, we saw pictures of soldiers removing their uniform and wearing t-shirts to go and vote. That was a masquerade, no problem with that. But you know what happened in Bafut? You've mentioned, after they have diaspora votes, in places like Cote d'Ivoire, there was so much violence that they broke down the walls of the embassy gates because the ambassador, playing to the role of the agent of Yaoundé, was trying to prevent the people from doing what they should have done. They pulled down the whole gate of the embassy. We saw what happened in Canada. We saw what happened in other places out of Cameroon when people tried to, and I'm sure in those instances, they asserted their rights perfectly well. And with that, they will probably come out on the top. But the central issue to us is seeing what went on in Bafut, which is rarely in the country. You ask the question, who is in charge of elections? Are they the soldiers? Is it the DO who will come in to say, move away from here? Or is it Elekam? We don't know. It's a free for all game. Everybody will get there, pick the pieces that they can pick, and then declare their own victory. I talk about fraud. The fraud was wonderfully massive in some areas. For example, I saw in the official tally, the tally that they have so far, from Batibo in particular, the polling station in Batibo purportedly gave Mr. Pobia 5,000 votes. You read? This is Batibo that a few days before the elections, the minister from there, Rosenbach, went to Batibo armed to campaign. And in that campaign, we saw only 4 CPDM people come to listen to her. So where did they manufacture 5,000 votes to give Mr. Pobia on the polling day? There must be some gods. There must be some angels from heaven. And so that is what they try to do all the time. We have this common saying in English that he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Pobia pays the electoral officers. Pobia pays the ministers. He pays the soldiers. I think that he can dictate the pace of events in terms of politics. He could, but given that election of president is a 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 that give the final result, these people are a minority. Yes, Batibo could give Mr. Pobia 5,000 votes, whereas there are not even up to 5,000 people living in Batibo. Because of the war, most people from the rural areas, including Batibo, including the BLM, including Donga Mountain and other places, they've all escaped. They've all fled to urban town. And so if there were elections, for example, just say in Bamenda, with all these people who escaped from Batibo, who escaped from Widikum, from Donga Mountain and settled in Bamenda, what would the fraud in Bafut station, Bafut polling station mean? It would mean nothing in terms of the total. And so if the thing we see is correct, you saw the outcome. In fact, because of this war, the population of places like Douala has almost tripled because people have fled from everywhere to Douala. They have fled from everywhere to go to the Yaoundé. If the things that were posted out there on social media turn out to be true, the opposition won there massively, notwithstanding the attempted pockets of fraud in the rural areas. In my own place, it's called the BLM whole division. I'm not sure even of the 10 people, of 20 people even voted. And they even orchestrated their own stealing because people with ballot papers trying to stop the boxes. With how many ballot boxes? Maybe 60 votes. What does that count in an 8 million ballot contest? Absolutely nothing. So we should not be discouraged. We were not even concerned, but we should not be discouraged. We just wish that whatever is the outcome, the person who is going to come proclaim the winner or declare himself or herself the winner will meet us for the negotiations. Our point was made. We said people should not stand up, should not go out to vote. I'm sure most people resident in Ambazonia, wherever they were, didn't go out. Pockets of those who showed up, they expressed their will. Even those pockets that showed up, based on what we see on the social media, the pockets that showed up voted massively against the regime of Korea. And so we have nothing to lose. We have lost nothing. And again, back to what we said earlier in this segment, the Monday goes down, Monday lockdowns are the pointer to everybody who's concerned with elections, to everybody who's concerned with Ambazonian struggle, to everybody in Cameroon who's concerned with their own survival. Their president, whoever turns out to be, will have to make that country survive. And the only way the country will survive will be to let Ambazonia go. Because as long as Ambazonia is there, we're like a porcupine in the neck of a python. You cannot swallow it, and then you eventually die with the porcupine itself. So that's what I take from it. Fraud it was, but not. I don't think that will change any difference in the overall count by the time they get down to do the real business. But even if it does affect it, again, it doesn't change anything in Amazonia. Ambazonians said no to elections, not because we don't like the election, we're not part of it. We simply say, conduct your elections, get the winner, or select whoever, then come meet us. Ambazonia is still sitting and waiting for you and say hi, happy good neighbors, good morning over the fence to you. Over to you.
Now let me ask this question I've been meaning to ask. I know that Amazonians are not interested in this election. That was very significant in the elections videos we saw, where Amazonians didn't turn up in those places in Amazonian areas. But then, does it seem? It seems like somehow Ambazonians may be interested in Issa Chiroma winning. Now, do you think that his winning can give Ambazonians that leverage to have that this dialogue that Ambazonians have been interested in having, that dialogue that will set the pace for two nations to exist and for Ambazonian rights to be recognized? Do you think that the president of Issa Chiroma can be the one that would allow this negotiation process to take place eventually if he wins?
I don't know whether you're right when you say that the Ambazonians are leaning towards Isachiroma winning. We're not leaning towards anybody. But the question you should ask is, we say we're not taking part in elections. That's the overall position that we took. But that notwithstanding, there are two Ambazonians who stood the elections. Joshua Osi for the SDF and Akerimuna for another party. These are our own brothers and sisters. But then if they stood the elections and there are even a few Ambazonians went out to vote, why did they not vote their own brothers? Why did they not vote Joshua Osi? Why did they not vote Akerimuna?
Yeah,
It is simply
barrister,
because they saw
barrister,
nothing.
barrister.
You're
That's
saying something?
exactly why I'm asking. Because
Yeah,
their
I'm
names were
coming to
not
I'm
even
coming to that.
mentioned.
Yeah, I'm analyzing it. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm
All
trying
right,
to
go
answer your
ahead.
question.
Yes, please.
If there were Ambazonians in that struggle, it's in spite of our resistance, if there were Ambazonians in the contest, and there were Ambazonians who had fled, internally displaced to Douala where there was election, to Yaoundé where there was election, and to other big towns, why did they not even vote for the two Ambazonians? The answer is clear. Those Ambazonians who ventured to go into foreign elections did not even offer any hope for the Ambazonians who are resisting the occupation. And now it comes, you ask why people have been thinking about Issa Chiroma. If some Ambazonians think about Issa Chiroma, it is because he is the only person in the contest over there who has publicly said that I know there's a problem. I apologize if I did deny this fact. And I'm telling you people that if I win, I will come to the conference table. We shall sit down and talk. That alone is enough because we've been fighting for 9 years. Mr. Paul Biya has never recognized the problem to even sit down and talk. No other political party, not even the Joshua Osi's party SDF, has raised it. Joshua Osi is in parliament thanks to the SDF, which is a communal Ambazonian party. He has never ever mentioned to raise that thing in the House of Assembly. Rather, he has signed petitions that they should go abroad and bring all Ambazonians fighting for freedom and jail them. That's an Ambazonian. The party that he runs on the platform have been running elections over there. He is in parliament based on that. Why should any Ambazonian vote for a guy like that? Why should we not look for any stranger, an American, a Japanese, talk less of a Cameroonese, who says that, look, we realize that there's a problem, we can sit down and talk. The outcome of the talking is not what is here. When they come and sit down if you come to the table, whoever comes to the table with us, we have said we are going away. Let him justify why we should not go away. Let him show a strong case why we must remain in their bondage. That is the outcome that I cannot predict. I don't know what the argument is, but we are still fast. We're asking them, come let us settle this thing. Let us, if you pay the bride price, let us pay back the money. And like in the country marriage, you get 5 goats. If 5 goats today are about 100,000, go away with your 5 goats. Let my daughter come back home. Things like that. So if anybody is tilting towards Issa Chiroma, it is simply because he has given us the impression that at least he knows that there's something wrong. He has said, look, I know that some of your brothers, your sons and daughters have been killed. Others are still alive in jail for no reason. If I win, the first thing I will do will be to release them. So they can join you people and you all come together as a team to discuss why you should go or why you should stay. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I hope it answers your question.
Now, as the days proceed, I'll definitely come in with more of the thoughts that I've been having.